through the haze. Global watchmen lighten up the maze. They don't flinch, they don't fold, digging deep, breaking the mold. True patrol on digital ground, every whisper, every sound. Hey, eyes on the truth, no turning away. Global watchmen shining through the gray. From the shadows to the screen, they decode what the silence means. Click subscribe, let the veil be torn. This is the news we've been waiting for. Turning away, global watchmen leading the way. Every story, every thread, for the living and the misled. Raise your voice, let the signal soar. This is the news we've been waiting for.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name is Lori Swan. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you're in the live chat, we do ask to keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forward to us by the platform we're utilizing tonight. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. Before we start, I would like to call all our prayer warriors to front and center. Ernie's daughter needs our prayers, like now. Okay, if you guys could do that, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, if he comes in the chat room, he can tell you why. It's not my position to tell, but she does need our prayers and for healing, and that she's okay. Yeah. John is not joining us tonight. I couldn't get a hold of him. I'm horrible. I'm like this horrible. I put a post up today because I literally just realized that I haven't checked my Facebook messages in probably over a week. And they're just so overwhelming that I can't even like grasp even where to start. So I'm horrible. I've been really bad about that lately. I don't see that changing anytime soon, to tell you the truth. But okay, so I came out this morning and I told you guys that I was going to head over to the ICE detention center here in Chicago area, and I did. I did go over there, and I did go live on the backup channel or on my personal channel. So what I'm going to do is going to play it, and then we're going to talk a little bit, because let me just preface this by, when I went there, I went there with the mindset of confronting the left. And I left there not only humbled, but I left there on a mission. And we're going to talk about that. Because I never thought of what I thought about when I was leaving there. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's go to, where is it? Oh, there it is. All right. Okie dokie. Okay. I had to park. I actually went around the block once, try to find a place to park. I'll tell you something, if I would have walked this a year ago, I would have been out of breath. It felt so good to walk it and not have to worry about feeling horrible. So they were setting up for, it looked like a press conference. There was all kinds of news cameras and stuff there. So, listen.
Is there going to be a press conference? Hi.
No idea. I just arrived here. I'm first time here, so.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm a reporter, so I felt like I need to see this with my own eyes.
You're into YouTube?
What's that?
You said YouTube?
I'm a reporter.
Reporter?
Yeah.
Right.
What about you?
Mm-hmm.
You too. Okay. What do you work for?
Global Watchman News.
Okay. First time here?
Yeah. I mean, keep hearing everything, but I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah. Same here.
I was just wondering, I mean, looks like they're setting up for a press conference, but I was expecting a bunch of protesters.
Same here, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's a bad day.
It's a nothing burger. I'm going to go talk to the protesters.
Yeah.
Huh. ICE equals Nazi thugs. Yeah, that's right. How about you guys open up the doors of your house and let them in, stay with you? There you go.
That was very confrontational when I first got there.
All right. We're going to talk to the protesters. There's really nothing here. I don't understand where all the people that they say are protesting here.
I saw, here, let me stop this for just a second. I saw maybe 5 of them on the other side of the building. There was like 5 of them, and 2 of them had signs, and they were just kind of standing around when I drove by. But then I had to go find a parking space.
Let's go up and talk to the liberal whack jobs.
We'll just support conversation.
Where's all the people? Good question, Greta. Let's see if I can get into a confrontation.
I'm sorry, I had a lifesaver in my mouth, and I didn't even realize it until I re-listened to it. I was, Rick. I'll admit it. Okay, and this was like a little, they had a couple of tents there. They had tables with some food and snacks and some signs, and that was about it. That was all that was here.
I was expecting a lot more people. Has this been it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's mostly on weekends.
So, you guys are against ICE being here?
Yeah.
Why?
They're just doing stuff what they shouldn't be doing.
Precisely what?
They're doing things they're not supposed to be doing. Okay, what? Can you name one thing?
Illegal people and people who don't need to leave.
Okay, you can't really hear him, but he says they're picking up legal people and people that don't need to leave here.
Okay. I don't think they're taking away legal people.
They are.
Do we have proof of that?
Yes.
So,
People have tried going and showing ICE their families' documents, their green card and their passport and stuff.
Okay, so what he's saying is, you'll get to the next person, but so what he's saying is that these people have been detained by ICE. Their families have come with their passports or with their ID or with their green cards, and they haven't been able to find them in order to get them out of custody. That's what he's saying.
And ICE has already moved them to different detention centers
Okay.
before they can even show them that.
Okay. What else are they? Do you agree that illegal? I don't even know what we're calling them. We're calling them immigrants. Are we calling
I
them?
don't think anyone are immigrants.
Okay.
Because none of us were first here but the natives. So none of us are actually, all of us are actually immigrants, but the natives.
Right. But the difference between us and these people right now is that our ancestors came through Ellis Island with their paperwork. Do you know what would happen if you were to go to another country like, say, Israel or China or Russia and try to get into their borders without your paperwork? Do you know what would happen?
I mean, Russia and China and what was the other country?
Israel?
Israel, not exactly the country we want to be emulating right now, right?
I'm stating a fact that if you were to go to any other country and try to enter their borders without paperwork, the same exact thing would happen to you.
I mean, people aren't just getting detained, they're being disappeared. I'm sure if I went to Mexico without papers, they'd arrest me and send me right
He said they're not just getting detained, they're getting disappeared.
back.
Right.
There'd be documentation from it, and I would be safe the whole time.
Okay.
These people have often been here for decades. They get rounded up, taken to these facilities. Their families can't find them. They go to this facility, they get the runaround. They don't know how to contact them. There's a number they don't pick up, and so they don't know where they are. As days go by, they're transferred to another facility, often halfway across the country, and so often these people have the means to go see them. And unless there's a huge social media pressure, a huge public outcry, then these people often don't get found. So that's what's different. I mean, honestly, Russia or China, that may happen. Israel, that may happen. But these are not countries we want to emulate.
That's true, but I'm saying, there's a way to do things. There's a process to go through.
There is a process.
And that's what our ancestors did. They came through Ellis Island.
Green cards and ISIS still.
I agree. Okay, if that's the case, but I don't. Is that the norm or is that?
It appears to be the norm from what I've seen so far on the ground.
Or work or school places.
Yeah, valid visas one way or another. Sometimes the visas get canceled right before they're detained, so they don't even have a chance of something. They may have a small window to self-report, but otherwise, if they want to fight it, they get detained, and then now they're in this black box that nobody can see. Literally, if you go to that building over there, the windows are boarded up. You cannot see what's inside. People who try to, Congress people who have the legal right to inspect the facility get turned around, sometimes even arrested. I think Broadview decided on. They had a town hall meeting recently. The mayor decided that, we're going to send a health inspector to go inspect the facility. You might want to check up on that, how that went. I have a feeling that they weren't able to, but that's pure speculation on that point, so don't support me on that.
I'm recording.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
Levi?
Levi?
Yeah.
Because I live in the area. I've been seeing on the news and through social media the things that have been happening.
Yeah.
So I decided to come here to see for myself.
Yeah.
This morning I was supposedly watching a live protest with hundreds of people.
Yeah, that'll happen. They'll
You
get
know.
old footage.
Totally.
During the weekdays, there's
Totally.
very rarely anybody here. There are people here, but this may be in the 5, 10, 15 people range.
Now, did the National Guard from Houston arrive last night?
We have not seen them yet. They may have somehow arrived somewhere in the middle of the night. I saw a bus show up at about 2:30 in the morning. But I don't know who was in that bus. It was just a nondescript bus with blacked out windows, so we have no idea.
Do you have any idea of how many people have been taken by ICE so far from this facility?
We don't have a general idea. Cars will come in and out sometimes. Then again, the blacked out windows, you can't see who's being detained. We've tried to go around the fence to record people being
Now, this is
detained.
the fence that.
No, this is a different thing. If you go down the street.
Well, which one's the fence that the court's going to be deciding on Thursday?
On for the fire codes and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go down
So that's
here,
down-
take a left, there's a metal
Okay.
fence that crosses over the road. It's like a temporary little
Gotcha.
fence. Yeah, and they don't seal or whatever.
So that's the fence that they're complaining about?
Yeah, that's the fence.
Okay.
But this was already here.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Morning.
Can I bother you for a second?
Sure, yeah.
Did you park by any chance over
I
there?
did.
So they have a job going on over there with construction, so
Okay.
can you move your vehicle,
Where
please?
am I going to put?
I got in trouble. I parked where I was supposed to park.
Oh.
Because they have something going on, so we don't want to
Oh,
be in the way.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna let you know.
So are you a, oh, you're a counselor, sure. I gotcha. What do you think is going on here? What do you think about it?
We're just here to make sure everybody's safe. You see, you can park here.
Oh, there's one here. Okay, thank you. I just drove by here and there was nothing.
We'll be careful, don't get
Yeah, I'm not going to want to be hit. That'll be a lot of paperwork for you. I appreciate you coming to get me.
not a problem.
All right, I'm going to fast forward it.
We've heard it many times before.
Okay, put it right there.
I mean,
My knee was hurting me by this time.
what if what Levi says is true? What if there are people disappearing out of these places? I mean, we've heard this before. We've heard it many times before, not just now. Hold on a minute. My leg is killing me. Oh, God.
Yeah, my leg was so. I actually had to come home this afternoon because it was hurting. I was driving so much on it. It was hurting me. Right in the back of my knee. It's killing me.
And there was a time I would be out of breath. No more. All right, let's plug my phone in. All right, let's debate on whether I want to find a place to go back to talk. I think what my next
How can you tell when you're in Chicago? Potholes.
Okay. Let's go finish talking. Bye. My keys.
I'm gonna vacuum my car out tomorrow.
So I was rudely taken away by the cop. Said I was rudely taken away by the cop. So before I wasn't done. What do you think can people do? What if I was to do a live stream tonight, show the footage that I just did today, talking to you if I have your permission? What would you say that we need to do?
I'd say keep up the public pressure. Basically, we've been documenting everything. We've been standing up to ice violence and not flinching. Well, that's a lot to ask a lot of people, but basically, keep your eyes on the situation. Try to get as much direct information as you can. Don't just trust the news and social media because they will always put a spin on it. So I'd say come here, see what's happening, and tell your friends about what you've seen directly, and just keep an eye, keep track of people that are being taken in if you know those people, or keep an eye on if there's a story that is developing. Always follow through on the developing story.
Is there a website people can go to report their people missing that,
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not really.
Are you
sure.
with any organization or?
No,
you
we
just
kind of
private?
just all showed up here and then sort of formed our own little
Gotcha.
thing as we go. Yeah.
How long you been here?
I've been here a little over 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
2.5 weeks.
Are you from Chicago?
Not originally, no.
Oh, wow.
I showed up. I had an apartment in North Carolina on a lease. When the lease ended, I decided I would try to come out. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you said the weekends are usually
Usually bigger.
bigger.
Yeah. There's a lot more protesters, and then there's a lot more police presence in anticipation of that.
Okay.
At first, it was just civilians and ICE, and then the state police and the county sheriff's got involved as well. So who knows what it's going to be like this weekend?
You know that Trump is tossing around implementing the Insurrection Act, right?
Yeah, he's been tossing that around for a while. We'll
Okay.
just have to see what shows up. I mean, the National Guard is supposedly here. They haven't visibly shown up at the facility yet, but we'll see if they show up on Friday or Saturday and how they behave. It's just kind of a play-by-ear thing. There's a lot of rumors that go around. You'll hear something and then find out that's not true,
Right.
and all that. Yeah, so it's
Exactly.
it's kind of a eyes on the ground sort of a situation.
Because if he does that, then Posse Comitatus is right out the door.
The what?
If he does that, then Posse Comitatus is right out the door.
Yeah.
They'll have free reign of basically to do anything.
Yeah,
I mean they do now, but
that's,
you know.
Yeah, that's always the risk we're taking. That at any moment they could decide that we're terrorists and they just shoot us all. And the week before the state police happened, they on Saturday they'd shot tear gas into their own lot, and then I don't know why, but they started opening the gate, took over the street, and
Is that where the woman got shot?
no, she got shot in a Chicago protest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last weekend I don't think anybody was shot here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew one was. I didn't know where it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A lot to think about.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
And do I have permission to replay you tonight?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Global Watchman News, we're over on
All right.
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go research and see what can be done about tracking people.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. I might be back this weekend.
All right. Well, then.
Thanks. All right.
Okay, so that's basically the extent of what I did talking to anybody. But here's the thing: is so, and I will be going back there this weekend. So I went to the ICE detention center today with the full intention of standing up for the deportation of illegals here in Chicago. What I came away with was almost a desperation to find out if mass deportations could possibly be a smokescreen for human trafficking. What better way? I mean, in the United States, around 600,000 to 660,000 people go missing every year. And that's from the FBI's National Crime Information Center, the NCIC. Although a large majority of those cases are solved, hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands remain unsolved, and people are unaccounted for every year. Now, there's countries such like, Sri Lanka and Syria. They have high numbers of people disappearing also, but they are due to conflicts and political issues. And places like Pakistan, they have a disproportionately high number of missing women due to social factors. But the United States, of all the nations, the United States is the country with the highest total number of reported missing people. I mean, some countries don't report missing person cases as thoroughly as others do. So accurate reporting it's difficult, but in the long run, it's the United States that has the most people that go missing, with the two states of California and Arizona and Oklahoma coming in third on the people that go missing, which is not surprising considering the things that go on in Arizona, which is no good. Let me tell you about that. No good. Nothing. Arizona's bad. So human trafficking, what is it? Okay, so human trafficking it's a crime of taking a person to provide labor, to engage in sexual commerce, like prostitution, or used in a number of, pretty horrific ways that you would probably have nightmares about. Medical experimentation, organ harvesting, baby farms, genetic experiments, being sold for on the dark web, and I'm not even gonna bring up what that's for. Use your imagination on that. According to the United Nations International Labor Organization, human trafficking victims worldwide, 27.6 million people worldwide every year disappear or are taken into for trafficking. 77% of those people are into forced labor, and 23% of those go into sexual trafficking. 57% are men and boys. I thought that was quite interesting. I really thought it would be higher for women. Women's 43% are women and girls. 57% are men and boys. I thought that was kind of. I actually looked at it twice when I was writing it down, making sure that I had it correct. So recruiting, harboring, kidnapping, transportation of someone for the purpose of a commercial sex act being initiated by force, fraud, or coercion, and a person that is not of the age of 18 are usually the reasons for the trafficking. There's no single profile of a human trafficker. Their only commonality is that they're driven by profit, usually. Human traffickers, they can be part of a international crime organization. They can be right down to a local criminal network, a gang. Can also be the unassuming restaurant owner, or you know what? It could be your next door neighbors. But they also can be people in prestigious positions and positions of authority, such as CPS workers or ICE agents or DHS officers. This is where what is happening at this ICE detention center raises question. It really did. It raised a lot of questions, and it stopped me in my tracks, because why is the building, why are the windows blocked off? Why are they blackened? Why? So you can't see inside. Why? What is that? I believe that agencies like that should be transparent. They should want the eyes on them. It keeps them honest. The only time you would black out the windows and stuff is if you didn't want people to see what was going on inside. And the idea of using mass deportations of illegals as a smokescreen to procure victims of human trafficking isn't something that I'm seeing anybody talk about. Before speaking with Levi, I thought of using the thought of our military using, or I'm sorry, the thought of using our military to procure humans wasn't really in my radar. He stated that, like I said, the building windows were completely blackened, and entrance to the building is forbidden. So I did a little bit of research, and I found that there is a here we go. This is the online detainee locator system through the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, through ICE. It says, use this page to locate a detainee who is currently in ICE custody or who has been in U.S. Customs and Border Protection's custody for more than 48 hours. Online detainee locator system cannot search for records of persons under the age of 18. You're going to need to know the detainee's A number, and it must be exactly 9 digits long. A number has fewer than 9 digits. Please add zeros at the beginning. And then you put the number in, and you need to know their country of birth, their country of origin. You can search by their name and country of origin and their date of birth, but you have to know all of those things. They have to be correctly put into it. That's assuming, okay? That's assuming that their information was put into the system correctly, because that always could be a problem as well. What better way to hide somebody than to, I don't know, switch a I and an E or spell a name wrong? Then I also put on my thinking cap, and I found this. And this is evaluating protections for undocumented victims of human trafficking. This was written in December of 2005. And it says, in the United States, human traffickers most frequently exploit the desperation of undocumented immigrants as a means of obtaining victims. But until recently, undocumented trafficking victims were precluded by their lack of legal status from receiving government protections typically available to other crime victims, and were unable to remain in the United States to assist in the prosecution of their abusers. To address this problem, Congress passed the Trafficking Victim Protection Act of 2000. Under this law, undocumented immigrants who are victims of severe forms of human trafficking may be eligible for temporary non-immigration status and a limited number of public benefits. Despite the legal innovations of the TVPA, the number of people who have actually received protection under the law is relatively low, especially when compared to estimates of how many trafficking victims are in the United States. However, ultimately, the main problem is that there is insufficient evidence regarding the actual number of qualifying cases of severe human trafficking in the United States. I would assume that these people would not be taken for labor or for prostitution, because there's more money in organ procurement, organ harvesting. And what's interesting is there was that young girl here in Chicago. I can't think of her name. She was found in the hotel freezer. And there was a big online true crime people that researched it. And I know one person actually lost his life because he was looking into things that he shouldn't have been looking into, apparently. And not 2 or 3 blocks away from that hotel, they found a warehouse full of bodies and parts and bits and pieces. So it's a real thing. And trying to be careful how I word this. People of color, apparently their organs are worth more. And I don't know if that would include, you know, all people with increased melanin. I don't know, but yeah. So there has to be a way to track these people. And I did think of I mean, you know, everybody always says to me, you always put out stuff and you don't tell us, you know, what we can do about it, how we can, you know, fix it. Well, personally, I would like to possibly contact somebody at a political level. I don't know even who to call or who to contact. But I think if we put an auditor or two in those places, I got that idea because I used to be a private auditor. When I moved out to Phoenix in 2007, the county hospital was having problems getting its federal, I forgot what it's called, it's you have to pass the federal to keep your doors open. I can't remember what it was called. But anyways, so they had to bring in private auditors, that was my job. I was there for like, I don't know, 6-8 months, and I would go in every day, and there was like, I think 9 of us, and each of us had a section that we did. I took care of the 4th floor, which was the inmates through the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department, and then I took care of the 1st floor, which was med-surg. And I would go there every day and I would pull all the charts one by one, and I would look through them to make sure that every T was you know, crossed and every I was dotted, that every signature that a doctor was supposed to have on it was on it, every order that was transcribed was done properly. I think that would be a good addition to a place like that. Because they could audit and pull and make sure that things are being done properly. Because bottom line is they might be here illegally. They are here illegally, but they're still human beings. They still have rights. And taking them away from their family to where their family can't find them, and especially if they're legal, especially if they're pulling people that shouldn't be taken away. I mean, I can remember years ago, decades ago, back in the 90s, I knew people that were getting deported back to Mexico. I had friends that were, well, they got deported. And the joke was that the majority of them were back within 20. I think the record was 21 hours, 19 hours, something like that. He was back with 19 hours. I think they deported him like 4 or 5 times. But I don't know. So reports and data indicate that the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, have arrested and or detained U.S. citizens and individuals with valid citizenship legal status based on incorrect information or outdated orders. Although ICE maintains that it has not done this, they will not admit to the fact that they've messed up. Okay. 2021 Government Accountability Office, or the GAD report, found that ICE and Border Patrol arrested hundreds of U.S. citizens and deported 70 of them. So it's oops, hold on just a second. Let me call you right back. Sorry about that, my husband. 70 is, it doesn't sound like much, but that's 70 too many. In my opinion, that's 70 too many. Now, for detention, ICE officers only need a reasonable suspicion that an individual is violating immigration laws. They don't even need a judicial warrant to take somebody. Now, when I said that these people have rights, they do. And they do have constitutional rights. Not full constitutional rights, but they do have constitutional rights. So ICE can hold somebody indefinitely, especially if the country of origin refuses to accept them back. But usually, after 90 days, a determination on the likelihood of future deportation is made, and if deportation is deemed unlikely, still unlikely, or is unknown, then after 180 days, the person is released on a supervised release order if they're not a danger to the community. Now, ICE detention doesn't automatically lead to deportation. If you don't have a final removal order, ICE will start the immigration court process by issuing a notice to appear. You do have the chance to appear before an immigration judge to defend against deportation and to apply for relief. The problem with it is that if you have not lived in the United States, or if you've lived in the United States for less than 24 months, and you can't prove a continuous residence, you may be subject to an expedited removal without a hearing from a judge. You are denied due process. So they don't need a warrant to take you. They just need just a suspicion. You're held between 90 and 180 days. You may or may not be released. And if you lived here, if you've been here less than 24 months and you can't prove that you've lived in a constant place for those 24 months, then they're going to expedite your removal, and you won't even get to see a judge. Absolutely no due process. So, yeah. That on top of them coming and taking people who are U.S. citizens, that's a problem. But I think the only thing I can really think of is putting auditors in these buildings, in these detention centers, and doing what I did is pulling and making sure that everything is done, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. Like I said, they might be here illegally, but they're still human beings. I did. I went there. I went there with an attitude of, they're here illegally. I don't want to hear anything you've got to say. I support ICE. I support, all of this that's going on. And you're not going to change my mind. And I left with a feeling of concern and a wanting to fix what's obviously broken. I don't know if that can happen. But I know I've got my work cut out for me. Tomorrow I'm going to find the representative for that district, and I'm going to give that person a call and hopefully get that person's ear for a little bit. Yeah, maybe we start there. Yes, privately operated prisons are controlled by Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. They absolutely are. So a few years ago, I had an article, and in that article, it talked about how as soon as a ticket is written, so say a cop pulls you over and he writes you a ticket, as soon as that ticket is written, a bond, and I don't mean a bond like a bondsman, I mean like a bond like how it's traded on Wall Street bond. A bond is created. Every single crime holds a monetary value. You hold a monetary value. So when you go to prison, you become a liability at that point, not an asset, because you're not out there working. You're not bringing money into the machine. So every crime has a monetary value to it. And what you do is you don't go into prison and serve your time, okay? You go in and you pay your debt to society, literally. And that's where those words come from. He's paid his debt to society. He has, because he's paid for the crime, the monetary value of the crime. So when somebody gets sentenced to 18 months for their third DUI, that's because that third DUI holds X amount of monetary value, and they have a formula that they use to figure out 18 months equals this amount of monetary value. So they sentence you to that much time. That's why it said, like I said, he's paid his debt to society, because you paid that debt. And I wish I could find it was a fantastic, oh my gosh, this article was like mind blowing. It had to do with private prisons. It had to do with, like I said, the bonds, how they're traded for for lots of money. And I had it saved on my phone. And when I went to pull it up, I don't know, about 6, 8, 9 months ago, the the link wasn't any good anymore. So, but yeah. And I have the link, like it's still on my phone. So I've been like trying to find like, you know, because it has a name. I forgot what it's parents or something for inmates. It was something with parents. So I've been like trying to find, maybe they changed the name of the group, or maybe you know, and I haven't been able to find it. And I went to the Wayback Machine and because I remember some of the wording, because I had read it so many times. So I remember like a few of the wording. So I like put it back in the Wayback Machine and I still haven't been able to find it. So it was such a good article and explained so much. So yeah. All right, guys, I am exhausted. I'm going to go to bed. I will be back there this weekend though. Yeah. And I'm going back to Phoenix for a weekend. I'm not sure when. My friend's memorial is being planned right now. She passed away while I was out there. My best friend for a number of years. And I do want to, I'm going to make it back for her memorial. So I will be going there just for the weekend. I think I'm going to leave on Friday and come back on Sunday or something, or come back on Monday or something. They have really good prices on tickets right now, or packages with the plane fare, a motel room, and a car rental for like $600. So I'd be dumb not to do it. I really do want to go back out and see everybody and say goodbye to her properly. So. But I'll let you guys know when I'll be gone, and I do that. So, all right, y'all. I will talk with you guys later. I don't know. I might be back on tomorrow morning. It depends on what happens overnight. But remember, if you could please keep Ernie's daughter in your prayers. I haven't got an update on him. I was hoping I would get one while it was live, but I haven't got one. She was having some tests done. So, but I will let you guys know tomorrow morning if I do come live. All right. So we'll see you then. Remember, until then, eyes open, no fear.